Hi, I'm Noelle. I'm 32, single, and despite what my family thinks, killing it as a senior marketing executive at one of the top firms in Boston. Not that anyone at this disaster of a family BBQ would notice or care. I arrived at my parents' backyard carrying a fancy charcuterie board I'd spent way too much time arranging. The usual crowd was already there. My brother James showing off his grilling skills, his wife Melissa chasing after their kids, my cousin Taylor nursing a beer in the corner, and my Aunt Patricia watching everyone like a hawk. Oh, you're finally here. We almost started without you. Diana, my mother, barely looked up from arranging napkins. Sorry, had to finish a presentation. The Simpson account is... That's nice, dear. James was just telling us about the kids' school applications. And there it was. Not even 5 minutes in, and my career achievements were already brushed aside like crumbs. I grabbed a drink and found Taylor in the corner. How long you been here? Long enough to hear about James's promotion 3 times. Save me. If I could save anyone, it would be myself. I clinked glasses with him. Taylor nodded toward Patricia. At least Aunt Pat asked about your job earlier. God bless that woman. Only one who remembers I exist beyond my relationship status. I made my way over to Patricia, who gave me a genuine hug. There's my marketing genius. How's the big city treating you? Before I could answer, my father, Martin, appeared with a plate of burgers. Noelle, make yourself useful and help your mother with the salads. I brought the appetizers, Dad. Cheese and crackers. That's hardly cooking. I bit my tongue and went to help anyway. In the kitchen, Diana was arranging desserts. Mom, I've been meaning to tell you. My team just landed the Westfield campaign. It's huge. That's nice. Did you see Melissa's new diamond bracelet? James surprised her for their anniversary. I took a deep breath. Yes, it's lovely. Back outside, James was holding court, bouncing his youngest on his knee. So I told my boss, either give me the promotion or I walk. That's how you do it, right, Dad? That's my boy. Knows his worth. Martin beamed. I couldn't help myself. I negotiated a 15% raise last quarter. Martin's smile faded. Lucky timing in this economy. The afternoon dragged on. Every achievement I mentioned was met with lukewarm acknowledgement before the conversation swerved back to James's perfect life. Things came to a head during dessert. Diana started her usual interrogation. So, Noelle, seeing anyone special? Not currently, Mom. I'm focused on, you're not getting any younger, you know. 32 and still unmarried. My career is important to me, Martin scoffed. A career doesn't keep you warm at night or give you grandchildren. Actually, it pays for my beautiful downtown condo that keeps me plenty warm. What's the point of success if you have no one to share it with? Diana sighed dramatically. That's when James chimed in. Maybe she's just too picky. I felt my face burning. Or maybe I haven't met someone worth sacrificing my independence for. Martin slammed down his beer. Independence? Is that what we're calling it now? James has independence and responsibility. You're just... He gestured vaguely. Still unmarried and frankly useless to this family's future. The backyard went silent. Martin, Patricia gasped. If that's how you feel, I said, standing up slowly. Maybe I should go. Maybe you should, Diana agreed, not meeting my eyes. I grabbed my purse, ignored Taylor's protests, and walked straight to my car. My hands shook as I started the engine. I wasn't just hurt, I was furious, and determined that my dear family would regret those words. The next morning, I buried myself in work. 3 presentations and 4 client calls later, my phone buzzed. Taylor, you okay after yesterday's disaster? Just busy proving how useless I am by landing another 6-figure client. You should know Uncle Martin and Aunt Diana have been talking trash to the whole family. At Grandma's birthday, they told everyone you were floundering in your career. Said you job hop because you can't handle commitment. They said what? I've been at the same company for 5 years with 3 promotions. I know that, but they're spinning this narrative of you as some sad, lonely failure. Aunt Patricia tried defending you, but the damage was done. Unbelievable. After everything they said to my face, they're still going behind my back. Classic Martin and Diana. Always need to control the family narrative. Saturday morning, I brought coffee to Aunt Patricia's house. She needed help with paperwork. Thanks for coming, sweetie. These insurance forms are giving me migraines. No problem. What are we looking at? Your father insisted I invest in his new development project. Wants me to sign these papers. I flipped through the documents, stopping at a concerning clause. This puts your house up as collateral. Did Dad explain that? What? No. He said it was just a formality. He promised it was completely safe. Nothing about this looks safe. The interest rates are predatory. Further into the pile, I found financial statements from Martin's company. Massive debt, missed loan payments, properties underwater. Aunt Patricia, this project is seriously underwater. Look at these balance sheets. He's operating at a 40% loss. Good Lord. Martin told me it was thriving. Said they were breaking ground next month. May I borrow these? I need to look closer at what he's doing. That night, I dug deeper online. Dad's company had 3 projects in foreclosure. He'd burned through 2 business credit lines and was desperately soliciting family investments. He'd even listed me as a future investor without my knowledge. Sunday afternoon, Taylor called again. Has James reached out to you? James? Why would Golden Boy need me? He called me last night. Sounded wrecked. Something about Melissa threatening to leave. Thought you might know something. First I'm hearing of it. Mr. Perfect Marriage is in trouble. I called Melissa directly. Noelle, this is unexpected. Heard you and James are having issues. Everything okay? Her voice cracked. James put our savings into your dad's lakeside project. $200,000 gone. Your father promised 20% returns that never materialized. Did Dad show James the actual financials? No. When James asked questions, Martin said he wasn't business-minded enough to understand. Said real men take risks. Classic dad manipulation? Has James confronted him? He's too ashamed. He's working 80-hour weeks trying to make up the loss. Why does James keep following Dad's advice? He's desperate for approval. Martin convinced him that your path, careful planning, building your own career, was the easy way out. Called it feminine caution. After hanging up, I stared at my laptop. The picture was becoming clear. Martin's failing business, toxic manipulation, financial deceit spanning the entire family. I opened a new document and began typing. My marketing expertise, network of contacts, and financial literacy were weapons they never saw coming. By the time I finished outlining my plan, they'd regret ever calling me useless. I called my college friend Emma, who ran the business section at the local paper. I need a favor. Remember that profile series you do on local business leaders? The Community Pillars feature? What about it? My father, Martin Reynolds, would make a fascinating subject. His development company is working on some interesting projects. You've never mentioned your dad's business before. Suddenly you're his PR agent? Let's just say I'm having a change of heart about family connections. He'd love the publicity. 2 days later, Emma called back. Your dad jumped at the chance. Interview and photo shoot scheduled for next Tuesday at his office. Perfect. Send me the questions beforehand? Against policy, but for you, I'll make an exception. While waiting for the questions, I contacted a former client who specialized in financial forensics. Need a discrete analysis of these documents. Construction company, possibly insolvent, definitely hiding something. Rush job? Yesterday would be ideal. There's a substantial bonus if you find anything legally questionable. My phone rang that evening. Melissa. James found out I talked to you. He's furious. Did you tell him what Dad did with your savings? He says I'm exaggerating, that investments have ups and downs. Has he seen the actual numbers? No. Martin keeps saying the documents are too complicated for non-business people. James believes him. Classic gaslighting. Do you have access to your joint accounts? Some. Why? Check if there's been any new activity, especially transfers to Reynolds Development. 20 minutes later, Melissa called back, her voice shaking. There's a second investment. Last week. Another $50,000. without discussing it with you? He said it was a make-good opportunity from your dad. Something about preferred investors getting priority returns. Melissa, there are no returns. The company's underwater. I can't take this anymore. 15 years together and he's gambling our future behind my back. What if you had proof? Actual financial records showing the company's state? I'd leave. Take the kids to my mother's until he comes to his senses. I received the forensic report the next morning. It was worse than I thought. Dad had been shuffling money between projects, using new investments to pay minimal returns to earlier investors. Classic Ponzi scheme territory. Meanwhile, Emma sent over the interview questions. They were softballs about business philosophy and community impact. I crafted subtle replacements that would lead Dad to boast about his visionary investments. Next, I compiled a portfolio of my career accomplishments, award-winning campaigns, client testimonials, revenue growth metrics, and my bank statements showing a net worth higher than what James had before his investments. I called Aunt Patricia. The annual Labor Day family gathering still happening at your lake house? Of course, though after what happened at the BBQ. I'll be there. Actually, could I bring the dessert this year? And maybe help you set up the projector for those vacation photos you mentioned? That would be wonderful, dear. One more thing. Could you make sure Uncle Robert comes? The one who's a bankruptcy attorney? Why? Let's just say his expertise might come in handy. I hung up and reviewed my timeline. The newspaper feature would run 3 days before the gathering. Perfect timing for Dad's ego to be at its peak when I revealed what I'd discovered. My laptop pinged. An email from Emma confirming the interview had gone exactly as planned, with Dad making grandiose claims about his business empire. Everything was falling into place. Time to finalize the most important part, documenting exactly how useless I really was. Labor Day weekend arrived. I pulled up to Aunt Patricia's lake house with my materials and a box of desserts. Everything's set up in the den. The projector's connected. Inside, Melissa cornered me. I filed the separation papers yesterday. James doesn't know yet. Today's going to be rough. You ready? More than ready. Your documents helped me secure emergency custody. Diana and Martin made their grand entrance, Dad waving a newspaper. Did everyone see the business profile? Front page? Diana spotted me with a tight smile. Oh, Noelle. Didn't expect you after... Well, wouldn't miss it, Mom. Martin approached James. Son, brought those investment papers. Exclusive opportunity. Closing this week. Dinner was tense. Diana highlighted James's accomplishments while ignoring mine. When Patricia mentioned my promotion, Mom changed the subject. Actually, I interrupted, I have something to share. A presentation. Martin laughed. Another marketing pitch? We're celebrating real business here. In the den, I started my slides. First, my useless career achievements. I displayed my awards, promotions, and bank statements. This is my net worth at 32. All earned, no help. Next slide, Reynolds Development's actual financials. Martin's face darkened. Where did you get those? That's private. Public records, Dad, plus the documents you gave Patricia to sign without explaining they'd put her house at risk. Gasps around the room. Next slide, the Ponzi scheme structure of your business. Uncle Robert leaned forward. Martin, is this accurate? She's twisting things. James, tell them. James stood up. Is it true? Our 200,000? Son, markets fluctuate. Stop lying, Melissa shouted. You've lost our children's college fund. The room erupted, Patricia demanding her papers back, relatives shouting questions. James faced our parents. You've ruined us financially. All your talk about family legacy, just your ego. Martin turned to me, desperate. Noelle, I'll make you partner. I don't need your failing business. I've built my own success, the kind that doesn't hurt people I love. 3 months later, I hosted Thanksgiving at my new house. James, Melissa, and their kids were rebuilding with Uncle Robert's help. Patricia and Taylor brought side dishes. Martin and Diana weren't invited. Last I heard, Dad's company filed for bankruptcy, and their country club memberships were revoked. Turns out being unmarried doesn't make you useless after all. What would you have done in Noelle's shoes? Exposed your family's secrets publicly like she did? Or taken a different approach? Is public humiliation ever justified when dealing with toxic family members? Or should some boundaries remain even in revenge? If this story resonated with you, hit that like button. And for more stories of sweet revenge and standing up to toxic people, subscribe to the channel. New uploads every week that'll have you saying they got exactly what they deserved.